3d6 down the line. Okay, that is episode 82, right? 82 in the books. Am I right about that? 82, yes.
I see what you're doing, Mike.
I'm glad you can, because I can't.
Yeah.
What is up with the body horror in this game? That was awful, John. That was like really, really bad. That was gross.
It was pretty bad.
That was the meanest trap in this whole game so far.
I was honestly
I was
more shocked about that than Av's death, to be perfect. I mean, we were in combat with Av. Like, just we turned the page, pluck. What?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty nasty and gruesome too. It wasn't like Mort's blindness, which was cast by Nefer. It was more like a hand on him. You know what I mean? This was like a very visceral, nasty plink.
Still, better Lothar than gangrene, I always say.
Wink, 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 wink. Well, I was.
Go ahead.
My heart sank whenever you decided that gangrene was going to step back and Lothar was going to come into the room to do it. You know what I mean? I was waiting.
Well, it was perfectly set up.
Yeah, I was waiting for gangrene to be the one to take it. I was sure it was going to be gangrene. I was like, it's going to suck, but at least it's a retainer. And then Mike's like, Lothar rolled in. I was like, okay,
ride the lightning, baby, ride the lightning. Honestly, I was like by five pages in, I thought
it's fine.
We've got the thing on this, and here's the thing, where did my paranoia go, man? It disappeared this session. Because Matt, you were 100% right about that dude wanting to sit up and play hanky panky with us. Well, and I honestly was like, I thought it was a red herring. Communism is a red herring. I thought it was going to be like, we're going to spend all this time doing this.
Herring.
I know what happened.
Just lie there and not do anything.
I know where your paranoia went. Is as we went through the pages, we saw increasingly more luxurious, more treasure, more people, more action. It became page by page visually more interesting. You wanted to see what the next one was.
Sure.
If it had been the first page, we'd have been super paranoid, not looking at it. If it had been the third page, we'd have been like, no, still cautious. But then we kept turning over all these pages of treasure, and we were like, I really want to see
better and better, safer and safer. Yeah.
Sooner or later, we're going to see something we recognize.
Well, that I am now curious what's on the last 3 pages, but I'm not that curious.
Have Lothar look. What I'm really curious about is it's one of two things, right? Like it's either a magical trap in the book that the wizard put in there for people who shouldn't be looking, or you're seeing a place that's so horrible, right? Like it's so bad that it literally rips the eyeballs out of your socket.
Yeah.
Both of those things are equally possible.
Yep.
But how do you tell? How do you tell that? How do you there's no way to do that without massive amounts of experimentation, Mm-hmm. I wonder if the clairvoyance had still been up, if it would have done that. That's where maybe possibly to test that theory,
Uh-huh.
I wonder if the iron circlet can be put on top of the mask of Toresis, and then see what that happens. You see,
weld them together.
Yeah, the ultimate goblin.
Able to see into the next spheres, of reality. Anyway, well, welcome back to Gosterwood, boys. That's exciting.
That's going to be. That is insane. I really did not think. First of all, I knew that this was going to take a long time. Right, as soon as we started looking at the book and started doing stuff, I'm like, oh yeah. There's no way we're getting anywhere near as far as we kind of planned out.
Yeah.
But how exciting to go back to Gosterwick. It's incredibly exciting.
I'm excited.
I'm mostly excited about getting a ton of stuff identified, although it's going to cost a fortune.
Yeah.
We have a fortune. No worries, man.
I know.
Yeah.
We also, I mean, do you guys want to follow up on the butt note?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We got to do that.
Yeah.
And I think we could go collect our 200 gold pieces from the rent of the arm.
Oh
hell yeah.
Absolutely. Don't forget there was other benefits in that deal too. Remember, you get a deal on the inn, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You get the nice suite at the really high end inn, and I think you get I'm gonna have to look back at my notes, but you get a reduced rate for banking, right?
Yeah.
In fact, I think it might actually be the rates are cut. Actually, I think completely. I don't think you had to.
Yeah. No, it was still a good deal. I was thinking about it today as I was driving home from camp, and I was thinking, like, now if we went back to Lady Alexia and with this information, we would make a very different deal. But that was a pretty good deal for some first level characters. To be honest, we had no leverage, and we haven't used it lately. But now we're in town, and I think they all probably assume we're dead. And we're going to have to flash our badges and be like, no, the company's still in existence, and we're going
to have some turnover. Yeah, there are no original members anymore. Yeah, but
I don't think Mort was a retainer at the point that we made that deal, was he?
Nope.
I don't think he was.
Yeah.
So, what I'm really curious about is I think. What I'm sorry, Ted. Were you cutting out there? Maybe.
I don't know. Go ahead.
I was going to say is I'm really excited to get some things. The one thing about Breggy, I love him, and I'm glad he's 4th level, and that's super exciting. I have no gear. Like, I have not a single magical item on this character, so I'm hoping that we have a couple loose magic items rolling around in the bottom of the barrel that we haven't really used yet, and then buying some decent dwarf-sized armor would be nice too, because you're not finding that in the damn dungeon.
We can buy some plate mail for you if we want while we're here, I'm sure.
Yeah. Dwarven plate.
Yeah, you'll have to, Ted or someone will have to collect like a full list of what you want to identify. And have it for me before next session, just so I can, we can whip that off like real quick. You know what I mean?
And remember, like we do have a magic item here in Gosterwick. It was that Man Weeper, right?
Yep.
Like Sam used to have Man Weeper, and we traded it out for Set's Bane.
You could use Man Weeper.
Yep.
Can I though? I mean, I know I can't use two-handed weapons. Oops, we just lost Matt. I think. Did we lose Matt?
Matt, what the heck?
He'll pop back in.
Yeah. Anyway, but can dwarves use two-handed weapons, John? Because I know I couldn't use Oculus when I had Breggy.
That's correct. Yeah, you can't use. Well, you can't use like you can't use like a two-handed sword or a halberd.
Okay.
Or anything like that. You could.
Isn't Man Weeper like a spear or halberd or something?
I think it's a halberd.
I think it's a halberd. Yeah, it's a pole arm of some sort. It's not a spear. But you could use like what I mean is like you could use a short bow, right? That's a two-handed weapon too. But but you could not use a long bow. Yeah.
So a dwarf can use a two-handed axe.
Wait a minute now, John. You're crossing dangerous territory here. That's
pretty sure they can.
Canon.
Yeah. It's established.
Dwarves are born with them in their hand, I think, aren't they? It's painful for mom, but
they can. Yeah. Okay, they cannot. Oh, it's very specific. They cannot use longbows or two-handed swords.
Oh, if that's it,
that's it.
If that's it, then that's fine.
Yeah,
okay.
You can use Man Weeper.
Yeah. I'm excited then because, to be honest, even Breggy never got even Goran never got a chance to get back to Gosterwick and buy some like decent armor and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
You have a substantial stash at Wick Trimmers, right? So.
Yeah,
is it
8,000 gold or so, but not much beyond that.
So it's not like magic items really, except for Man Weeper. It's mostly just gold.
We have Man Weeper, a two-handed flail, which I don't think is magic, a holy symbol, and 8,400 in gold.
Okay. You got some cash. That's not a small amount,
Right.
Yeah.
And again, I can't express enough that I think we need to move some of our loot here, and maybe even like if we have the money for it, maybe even buy or perma rent something so that we can actually get defenders and like guardsmen and all the rest of that, and have it be like a place that we can go and shit. Maybe we even leave a carpet here and then take one with us back to the dungeon so that we can always get back to our house. That might be cool too. I don't know.
We have one carpet with us and one in the stash. So if we do that, and I'm not saying we shouldn't, I think it's a great idea. We would have to walk back. Oh no, we wouldn't. That's stupid. What am I saying? Yeah. We just end up right back at the pyramid. Yeah, that's right.
The only thing is you have to have a place that's secure inside your house so that if someone takes your carpet while we're running around the dungeon, they're not just popping into our house in Gosterwick and looting it and then popping right back, So maybe it's got to be locked up in a strong room itself, One thing I'm curious about too is if the carpet is rolled up, then no one can use it, right?
That's correct.
I was wondering this.
Yeah.
It has to be flat out, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, how are you planning on getting to back to Arden Vool without traveling?
Well, if we have a rug in our new house, we just go back to the other rug. And
right, but then
that's the one we carry around.
Right, but then you don't have the ability to kind of, hop around Arden Vool except through teleportation circles.
True.
Right.
True.
Which is fine if that's what you want to do.
Instead of using the carpet to pop back and forth to our stash in the debouche, we'd be using the carpet to pop back and forth to our stash in Gosterwick.
Right.
It's basically just like changing where we consider our safe room. I'm wondering, like, if my eyeball list plan with the Beastmen and the Goblins does take fruit, then I think we're okay with Goblin Town and Beastman Town. I think the main thing is like removing that temptation from them of the circlet would be a great thing. The Beastmen and the Goblins saw me wearing that circlet. Now they're seeing me sitting there eyeless and bereft in the debauch room and just telling the tale about how the circlet, it's a powerful magical item. Everybody knows that. Who knows what the hell powers it has, So I don't know, man. I mean, if Garrelad will buy the note from Set that, or from the Setites that you left on there's got to be at least some Goblin contingent or Beastman contingent that would be like, that makes total sense, Obviously, John, you got to play it whatever way you want, but a little inspired, making lemons into lemonade moment for me.
I like it.
I think there's probably going to be tack-on effects probably in the near future. I think you guys may want to think if maybe in Gosserick is the right time to read the books that you got. Remember, that's a huge untapped amount of treasure that you have yet to actually access. Identifying the magical items. If anyone wanted to do any spell research or magical item creation, that kind of stuff like that can all, you guys should all assess that now. But we'll have to divide it between like an actual play session where you're adventuring in Gosterwick, right? Taking, and then actually just sort of doing downtime sort of stuff, We'll have to kind of weigh that out, but yeah. Anyway,
I think a downtime tack on was a great idea. With those things, particularly if we do, spend some of our money to buy a stronghold, or start building one or something here. That's kind of an interesting set of rules to kind of work through, and spend our money on something fun. And
well, again, I want to keep the focus on Arden Vool, right? So don't waste your money on something that you're never going to visit. What I mean? Or be called to defend, because I'm not going to be putting the campaign in that direction.
But I'm thinking, like what Mike's saying is like, we buy a place, right, with a tower or something, right, and we spend 10,000 gold to have a strong box or vault kind of thing put in there, and I'm just riffing here, right, but we're agreeing with you that you say, okay, if you spend this much, then it's a totally impregnable to thieves, and we're very happy. And then we don't ever have to come back except to drop off our stash and read our library kind of thing. And it's not the focus of the campaign, but we feel totally confident in its safety,
right?
Kind of thing,
right?
And you say, you want total confidence? It's 25,000 gold pieces. You want reasonable confidence? It's 15,000, or whatever number it is you come up with. And we can't afford total confidence, but let's come up with a new plan or whatever, happens. The
other thing is too, is it's not going to prevent us from trying to take over a section of Arden Vool ourselves. And then maybe eventually migrating back from Gosterwick back to Arden Vool. And like I said, maybe it's less important now if we can shore up the thing with the goblins and the beastmen,
Yeah.
The other thing too will be interesting to see if Lothar's sight can even be returned. I feel like that spell that I found would work on the basis of just the description that you gave me, the knit bones one. But I don't know. There's no regeneration in this game. There's no, that would be like super high level clerical spell, right? Like that would probably be prohibitive. We never were able to regrow Avaricios's hand, so why would they be able to regrow my eyeballs?
We never really tried to regrow his hand.
That's correct. You never did.
We could just kill you and then resurrect you or reincarnate you. And, that might, you get your eyes back if you got reincarnated.
Would you? But I might come back.
Be a whole new body. Get your eyes back. That's what the whole point of reincarnation is. You can start again.
Of Odin. Hi, Matt.
Yeah.
You're back.
Yeah, so that's a cleric spell. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah.
The knit bone?
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to say anything, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have to kind of decide. I mean, we'll probably figure this out on Discord, but
Okay.
If Gosterwick is what looks to be the focus of the next session, since it is by default, by definition, basically a downtime place, we'll have to decide like whether or not we call it like that episode 83 or if we're actually call it Attack on Effects or not. I don't know. It all depends on what you guys want to do. We'll have to discuss it on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's good. Well, okay.
Yeah.
That's something to discuss on Discord. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But there's some fun stuff we can do. If nothing else, we could give you the list. You know, things to identify. You tell us how much it costs. We subtract that from the purse, and then we could just pick up back at the debouche level and go from there.
Yeah, we'll have to discuss like what you actually want to do that's outside, like identifying, collecting your dues, right, depositing the treasure, like any the mundane sort of stuff that we can kind of hand wave. But if you're going to attempt to talk to Lady Alexia herself and talk about the butt note, that's like an actual real.
Yeah, I want to do that. That's definitely high on my priority list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a suggestion, a way to kind of skirt it. We do the list thing just like you were suggesting.
Yeah.
And then what we can do is just highlights, right? Like we can go in and say, here are the 3 items that were really interesting, right? Like this one's super cursed, or this one is really cool. This does this, or just a few little high notes. Otherwise, the items are some cool things, but we'll just find out what they do, as we play. But here are a couple of highlights, and then go to Lady Alexia and do butt stuff.
Well, no, I mean,
if do butt stuff.
I mean, I've heard the Arcantian nobility is depraved and degenerate, but
hey, man. Everyone's got their thing. It's cool.
It's all good, man. It's all good. And do what you feel. Hey, but how much is it to identify? We don't know. It's really pretty expensive, right?
200 each, I thought, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe it was 200.
But we've got tons of money.
Yeah.
Because we have tons of money there already.
We've got so much money that if we show up and say, identify this pile of crap, and here's a pile of gold to do it, we're going to totally fuck up the economy of the
town. Well, we'll garner attention for sure.
Right.
Yeah. That is a thing. And remember the last time you did it, there was a bit of a side effect, which is that you had the Laurel's stuff identified. And that quickly left the Arcane Practitioners Guild and went right to Wick Trimmer.
The good news is that everybody who had that stuff is now dead. Right?
True.
So we can say yep, you were right. We should have given that to you. Who knows where that stuff is now?
Yeah, Mark's going to definitely keep the pin, under his cloak for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll have to figure all that out on Discord, but
I'll figure out a list of everything from the treasure tracker. That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to identifying. I think we should do the butt note. You're right. We definitely should. And absolutely. I think we should keep calling it that because I think that's hilarious. And I'm sure that's exactly what it's called in the book.
No doubt, of course. Yeah.
The butt note, capital B, capital N.
No editing on my part.
It's a gift.
Yeah. As intended. Rules are written.
Exactly. And, so you guys will have to plumb the depths as I will. I seriously didn't mean that. What I meant to say is that you need to go way back into your notes to look at some things that, old items that you had forgotten about, possible leads and things that were going on in Gosterwick the last time you happened there. There will be a thing like how has Gosterwick itself changed since you've left? I mean, yes, of course, it hasn't been that long in game time, but it's still been a fair amount of time since you've actually last been in Gosterwick. So
I think that
2 weeks.
Yeah, the last time we went into Gosterwick, that was when we hired Elizabeth and Mort.
Yeah.
We hired them at the same time. It was between Mort and the other guy. No, Codswallop. It was between Codswallop and the guy with
son of a
with no neck.
Well, you hired the wine darks, remember? And, you know, in order to do the scouring, Avaricios had done his little Laurel thing where he
mice,
had all the nobles up in arms and everything, you know. That was another thing. And don't forget too that the Azure Knights under Lady Alexia was trying to rebuild and fortify that tower where on episode 1 where you had met Eartol, the spirit of Eartol, and that thing, right? They're attempting to fortify that area as an approach to take tariffs from people going up at the Arden Vader and all that sort of stuff. So
and Wolford would definitely change out of the cool armor.
We hired
Codswallop. He's not wearing that Azure Shield armor down there. No way.
Idea. Yep.
We hired Codswallop in episode 32. And then the last time we were in, and that was the last time we were in Gosterick.
Yeah.
Was episode 32, which is the 22nd of Ligarios, which is like a month and a half ago now, right?
Was that post scouring? When you hired?
Yeah, because at that point,
time.
Yost had the post the scouring.
It's not a big deal. I mean, I just want to know.
Yeah, I don't remember. I have to dig around some more. But
we need to ask some of our listeners and watchers who are brand new to 3D6 detail and are actually going through the episodes right now to jog all of our memories about what happened, because it's been a long time.
It was right. Oh yeah, that was immediately post scour, because when we came back up in session 33, the goblins were filling up the entry room, and that was when we spotted. Remember, 2 goblins trying to pick the lock on a door. We just pushed the eyes and revealing a staircase going down, and then we closed it and left. And I don't know if the goblins ever found out how to get through that or not.
Oh yeah, they know. That's the Gog. Right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You pass that every single time that you're moving from your stash to the debouche. Every single time. Right. So
Dude.
Wait. Okay. 20-foot pool in center of room. Damaged murals. Living mosaic on wall in robing room. Bodies still on floor. Blood on walls. Restore the well. The hell was that? I don't remember that.
It's all this stuff that's just way too long ago.
Oh my God.
All right.
That was episode 33.
They have a week's worth of trolling through all of their old notes and determining what they want to do. So,
hey guys, here's a little blast from the past, right? So I'm going through old episodes, just see the thumbnails on episode 34. Remember when David's camera kept zooming in on his face?
Yeah.
He's like this. It was like David just like this for like 40 seconds. Good times.
Glad we got that figured out. Although it was charming.
It was.
All right.
David's like this, trying to get it fixed.